It's Meet the Leaders, and I'm David Smith, and we are so pleased to have Representative Livvy Floren with us from the 149th District of Stamford and Greenwich. It's good to see you, Livvy. How are you?
Good to see you, David. I'm fine, thank you.
Welcome to the camp. It's nice to have you here. Have you gotten a little rest after the election and so forth?
I know, it was a long slog.
It was a long slog.
You know, because we had so many primaries, and you know, the summer was gone with that, and then the election. But I didn't have an opponent, but I ran as if I did.
Of course, and which is just the way you do business anyway. We've got another session coming up, and all of the same difficulties that we've had before are waiting for you.
I know.
They didn't want to change a thing to ruin a new season for you.
But we have a few new players.
Got a lot
so
of players.
hopefully, yeah.
A lot of new ones.
A lot of new ones in both the General Assembly and the governor's governor's residence, and he'll have a whole new team. So that's going to be interesting.
Interesting good or interesting bad, or does that remains to be seen?
I think it remains to be seen, but I'm very hopeful. The governor is one of my constituents. In fact, he's a neighbor.
Right.
And he's a very fair-minded, hardworking person.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe him when he says that, you know, there are no bad ideas, that everybody could have a good idea. If you're a Republican, Democrat, vegetarian, he doesn't care. And I believe him. And I'm going to hold him to it.
And that's, you know, that's the way he pitched it during his campaign and after the campaign. And so I think everybody's optimistic that that's the way it's been. And he has not been a lifelong politician.
No.
He's a business person, has had some political say and so forth, but he's been involved in so many other things, so many aspects of life that affects us all in Connecticut. That he brings a lot to the new seat up there. So
he really
see how it
does.
goes.
He's got a wonderful entrepreneurial spirit, which will help, I think, with our business community. He's been an educator, very involved with education and young people. He's got 3 wonderful children of his own, so he knows what he's doing. And as you say, he's just a very kind of a Renaissance man.
Well, it's interesting to me, frankly, that anybody would want to be governor given the plate that is put before you when you take that oath, because it's a tough road that everybody's got to hoe these days in Hartford and for the state.
It is, but it's doable.
Yeah, well,
We've
that's what we like to hear. Doable in what ways? How are we going to put it all together? It's been kicked down the road for 6 or more years anyway, these problems and the budget deficit and so forth rising and rising. How do we get out of that?
Well, we're going to have to work together, for one thing, and we're going to have to bring all stakeholders to the table and use the ideas. But when you look at that budget, I mean, 50% of it is fixed costs. It's Medicaid, it's debt payment, debt service, and it's pension liabilities. So that leaves you 49%, give or take, for the rest of all of the needs and wants in this state. And that's what I think we're going to have to look. You just can't say yes to everybody anymore. It just can't be all hands out. It's got to be, you know, working together to try to change it. Well,
now, here you are as a Republican and one of those that's left in Fairfield County. The Republicans had been tied in the Senate in the last election. You've been a minority in the House, but now it's a more severe minority that you've been playing.
We were about 5 votes away, you know, and now we lost 13 seats.
So is there going to be that benevolence, that working together? You are the picture of working together with both sides of the aisle. I mean, you are just amazing and are well known by everybody for that.
Thank you.
But a lot of people that can't be said for.
It's true. And I think, especially with a lot of the new people that were elected, they came in with a very set agenda, very progressive agenda. But I was so interested because, you know, they said they're going to be the big 5 issues: paid medical and family leave, tolls, medical marijuana, sports betting, and I don't know what the 5th one was.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, minimum wage.
Minimum wage, okay.
And the up to $15. And the governor immediately said, whoa, we're not going to start there. We're going to start getting this budget and our fiscal house in order, and then we'll discuss these things. So I think that's what's going to take. You're going to have to put the brakes on, and a lot of people are going to be disappointed. But the numbers might be there. You know, before there was this block of very moderate and fiscally conservative Democrats. No more. They're gone. And the block of the very, very progressive, and there's nothing wrong with being progressive, obviously,
yeah.
but it's grown. I think it's like 35. That's a big block.
But a number of people haven't been on the job before and may
This is
not
true.
be fully aware, fully versed as to what they're facing and the realities that they've got to deal with.
It's true.
And that will come crashing home to them very clearly.
Very quickly.
Do you think there is hope of bringing the union back to the table and renegotiating that?
You know, I do, and I don't think you can do it with people that are already, you know, on pension. I don't think that's fair. That was a promise made. It's a promise that needs to be kept.
Yep.
But for all new hires, I think there's always room for negotiation. And there are other ways to be funded. You know, the rest of the world has 401ks and IRAs and things like that.
Sure.
And we all, you know, should pay into our health benefits. I think we should pay into our pensions too. So the world has changed. And if you want a job and you want to be in it long enough to deserve a pension or to earn a pension, ground rules change.
And you want to have the state around fiscally sound enough to pay that pension.
Right.
That's the key.
That's exactly right.
Representative Livvy Floren, always a pleasure to have you with us, my dear. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Wonderful to see you.
May there be more folks of that mindset going forward as we face up to a new session.